Hello, and well, as you can see from my tone of voice, I am exhausted and my throat kinda hurt a bit. Mm, and it's getting worse. Yeah. So, today I'm going to be talking about today's activity. It's a whole day activity, lasted between 9:30 a.m. in the morning to 3:30 p.m. in the evening. How did I even survive? I'm not really sure. And well, I feel like this. I feel like today's activity is best described as a flavor, and to me, it's mild flavor. And it's not mild in like a bad way, but it's like mild and like easy to consume. Like it's easy to taste. Yeah, with a little, but it's with a little bit of spice, like with a little bit of spice there. And well, today's activity is like a my English, my majors meetup activity kind of. And I was also, and at the beginning of this activity we were also being divided into different groups according based on the last digits of our student's ID number, which for example here, this is, well, first of all, this is my new name tag that I was just given today. It's came with a really bright tone of color here, as you can see. And so, for example, back to it again. My student number is 102, so I'm in the group 2. Yeah, simple as that. Or they call it fam 2 in this activity. And yeah, so that's all. And well, we were divided into 10 groups from like 0 to 9. Yeah. And then the next thing that we did was that oh my god, the next activity is kind of like actually the activity that I was really looking forward to, which is introduction time. And yeah, so everybody had to introduce themselves in rhythms. And I was having fun, clapping throughout 115 introductions. My hand was red at the end of the introduction session, but it was still worth it. And I don't regret it at all, to be honest. Because it's like it didn't really come around, like this kind of opportunities doesn't really come around that easily. So yeah, to finally like being able to like formally introduce myself to everybody, I faculties, even though it's a bit in a what is it, embarrassing manner, or like awkward ones, because we have to dance and stuff like that. I'm not really good at that, but still, it's still like a very good opportunities. And then after that, well, actually, I have to say that today's activities actually consist most of fun game of like game with a purpose of like making us getting close to each other, because everybody is new to each other. And like some may have friends with them, some may already have friends with them. But still. And then our first game of the day was cabbage game. So this game is actually very simple, and the cabbage that we are talking about in this game is actually not an actual cabbage. It's a paper. It's actually a pile of paper being layered into a cabbage shape, cabbage like, just like cabbage, in layers. And in each layers there's a command on each piece of paper or each of the layers. So we are supposed to pass the cabbage around like while the song was playing. And then when the song stops, if the cabbage stopped at like whoever that cabbage was stopped at would, like whoever that cabbage stopped at would have to do the command in the outermost layer of the cabbage. So yeah, that's the idea of the game. And I think the other alternate suitable name for this game was actually passing bomb. It really it really described the actions of like how to play this game very accurately with this name. Okay, back to our activity. And the next the next thing that we did was to come up with our group's name and our group slogan. My group's name is actually Twice. Very simple, because we're in the group 2 and like fam 2 and Twice. And the slogan, well, it's actually really hard for me to like translate in English because it's in Thai pun. It's in Thai and it's also kind of a pun. So yeah, it doesn't really work in English. So we would just skip that. And then after that, the next activity that we did was, let me think about that first. My memory is like really bad right now. Oh, it's not a game. Yeah, it's actually It's actually, what is it? A really special game, because this game is actually created by our major, which is English major, by English major, or like our major. Oh yeah, that was right. Okay, and it's called Mirror, and the basic and how to play this game, and the way to play this game is basically two groups competing with each other on how accurate they can copy each other's formation. So like two groups would like take turns to like copy each other's formation like as accurate as possible, and the point would be taken on how accurate, like the point would be added if it's on the accurate point of the formation, and the point would also be deducted on like on the inaccuracy of the formation. So yeah, that's basically how it is being played. I know, it sounds a little bit like boring in the first, like at first, when I first heard about that, but it's actually very, very fun. It was actually really, really fun, and it made me really competitive. Like really, I was really surprised about that, because I got really competitive at the end of the game, because and this game, and maybe another reason. And this game is also kind of like a workout in a way, because it was really physical. Basically you have to like, in order for you to make like your opponents, to make it impossible for your opponents to like copy your formation, you would have to like distort your bodies in a really like unnatural way to being able to do that. And that's why it's really physical. And when you are competitive, you just forget about everything, and then turn, and then it leads you to do something very stupid to your body, and you just ended up hurting yourself at the end. But it was still fun. It was really, really fun. It was really fun. I'm not really good at this but yeah, it was fun. And and it really helps with like bonding things too. And another game, sorry, oh my god, my memory. Oh, another game is actually kind of like a whisper challenge, but instead of like passing whisper, you would have to pass the drawings instead. Yeah, it works the same way as the whisper challenge, but replace the whisper with drawing. And the drawing also has to be created with your left hand, or like right hand for the left-handed people. So yeah. And the next game, well, that game was fun. It was really funny to like see how the message can like get lost in a way, especially with drawings. Because art is not really like everyone's specialties. Let's just keep it that. Let's just leave it at that. And the next game is actually the last game of the day. Is like guessing the song game. Well, this song is actually being played individually, but the point is still being collected by groups. So basically, a senior would pick out a song, and he or she gives out hints by using a certain word or sound to sing the song. So, for example, I pick ABC for my choice of song, and the voice that I'm going to use is actually O. And it's going to be like oh stuff. Yeah. So it's like that, and then the person who raised their hand first, the person who raised his or her hands first would get to answer, and if the answer is correct, then their groups, or then that person's group will get a point. And yeah, that's basically how that works. And then after that we were done with the gaming session, and then we moved on to a very informative session. Actually, it was really like beneficial for freshmen like me. Well, it's a Q&A session. It's a Q&A session. So basically, all the seniors given an opportunity to like ask any questions that we have, maybe about university life or subjects in our faculties, or suggestions about choice of subjects in our faculty and stuff like that. And we were also asked for feedback of like today's activity, like the activity that we did in the morning and in the afternoon also. But yeah, I would have to say that it was really informative. It was really nice, to like get to hear the experience from like the seniors who actually like learned the same educations, like the same system that that already learned the subjects that we are going to be studying about in our first semester. So yeah, oh my god. Oh yeah. And yeah, that's basically all. And tomorrow is going to be another meetup activity. But this time it's going to be a really big meetup activity, because this time it's going to be an activity set up by student council. So basically everybody in the faculty is going to be there. Well, because not like today. Today is like just everybody in my major, but tomorrow is going to be like the whole faculty, which is I think like freshmen of this year is actually about. The number of freshmen of this year is about like 700 or 800 kinda, and that is a really big number to and like a really big number of people for you to meet in a day. And well, it's going to be a 3 days activity, so hopefully I think that I will be making video about that on the end of the last days of the activity. So yeah, and that's it for today's video. I was really tired. Like, this video really exhausted me even more, because I was met with so many difficulties during like the making of this video. Even though this is like this final draft might not be really that well spoken or like well made, but still there was really like I got through so much. Yeah, just saying. And thank you for listening, and well, see you again in 3 days. Bye.